Some things done. I got my colonoscopy and we're all good there. They start with some small talk and I knew, and next thing I know, I said, I'm going under. And then I woke up and they're like, hey man, you did great, champ.
So you come around here often?
I've been spending time in the dojo, doing all the things that they won't show. No spotlights on me, no photos, becoming the king on the low low.
I guess what we'll just end up doing. We haven't seen each other since before Christmas, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we all did our vacations. You went to Taiwan,
Yeah.
and then you were traveling as well, a little bit here and there.
Just winning titles and
Just
hanging
winning
out.
I mean,
Usual.
nice little flex over there on that right shoulder.
Show and tell
Nice.
day here at the Dad Dojo.
At the Dad Dojo, right? So,
What have you guys been up to, man? It's been a minute.
it's the holidays, man. They got away from us. It was so fast. We left the Sunday before to go to California. My son, he plays lacrosse, and he made for the NDP South, which is like a national team for the South. So he's like Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and so he made that team. So we traveled out to San Diego the first week of January to San Diego for his tournament. So we just went early to Northern California to see family.
Yeah.
Spent Christmas there, New Year's there. January 2nd, we drove down to San Diego and went to the tournament, and then we drove back home. So we drive pretty much everywhere because I have a 13-year-old lab, and so we don't leave him anywhere with anybody because we had a bulldog who was older, and the doctors wanted to keep him overnight, and literally he died in the middle of the night at 13 years old. He's a bulldog. So my wife's like, never again. We're not leaving the kid. We're not leaving the dog anywhere because they get depressed. They think you abandoned them. And so literally they called us at like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. They're like, hey, he's doing really well. You want to come pick him up? And they're like, we could keep him one more night for observation just to make sure. And at like 3 a.m, they called and said, yeah, he passed. They're like, we tried to revive him, resuscitate him, but like he's gone. And I'm like, we should have brought him home. Like, that's what goes through your mind. So now we don't fly anywhere. We just drive everywhere because we have our lab. So our lab, he's a good traveler too. So he goes everywhere with us. Like we have to drive to Pennsylvania for another national team tournament in Pennsylvania. So we'll be driving there in June.
Dang.
So hey man, we're a family. You got to keep them, you got to keep it all together. But
Those
it was good.
times are
Spent 2
precious.
weeks in California, two and a half weeks in California. And then drove down to San Diego for the tournament and then drove back home and been here since trying to get reacclimated. We got back. You guys, same thing for you. We got back. Kids were in school for one day. Then it snowed. And then they were off for 3 days. So it was like, okay. Yeah. But outside of that, man, we had a good holidays and, good traveling. Kids did well at the tournament, took third. They were the number 1 seed coming in. They got blown up in the semifinals. Just bad day. Played really well on Saturday. Sunday morning, just laid a goose egg. What about you guys?
As you mentioned, we went on a trip pretty far, other side of the world, but it was good to get the kids over and experience a new culture. We went to Taiwan and we stayed in Taipei, the capital there. And so my mom's from there. She doesn't live there anymore, but she's from there, and my sisters were born there. So good to go back there and show the kids kind of some of the roots and just show them a different culture. We really trying hard to give them those experiences to see, what's out there, that it's a big, big world with a lot of different people and cool customs and cultures, especially when it's their own.
Yeah.
So that was fun. Came back. I got some things done. I got my colonoscopy and we're all good there. So
I got to do this thing.
So that's, yes, you do. The process was not fun.
Did you lose weight?
A little bit, actually. It was actually a good gut reset. It like when I was able to stabilize my body after.
How many days did it take?
You fast for 1 day. They give you these pills. They don't make you drink the
orange
gallon
drink
of sludge anymore. But the result's still the same. You better be near a toilet. And then I went in.
Did you
first
leave the
thing
house
in
at
the
all
morning.
that day?
No
chance.
And first thing in the morning, went in. Man, it's easy. They put
You're
you
awake
under.
during this thing, right?
No.
Oh,
they put you under.
Oh, okay.
And
I thought you were awake.
They just threw it through the IV. So I knew what was happening. I get taken into the to the room, meet everybody, and they start they start with some small talk, and I knew. And then next thing I know, I said, "I'm going under," and then I woke up, and they're like, "Hey, man, you did great, champ."
Yeah. So you come around here often?
So that was
You drive
pretty,
a bus in the anal.
Yeah.
It's right
Woke
through.
up. It was pretty easy. They said I did great, and
you did wonderful.
I felt it felt weird. My stomach was off for a day, and then got a call a week later saying, "Hey, man, good news. We had to remove a couple polyps, which is normal, but everything's benign. So there's no sign of cancer.
wow.
But you got to come back in 3 years."
Oh, wow.
So now begins this routine and this maintenance. So got that done. I mentioned this before, but they lowered the age from 50 to 45 because there's so many instances and cases of colon cancer now. So yeah, you got to get in, you got to do it. So I got that done. I'm pretty happy about that. I got some work done on my hair.
What?
Yeah. I had some issues. So I didn't get a transplant or anything, but I had some issues with my scalp. Like my scalp health wasn't great. Shout out to Barber Surgeons Guild in LA.
Okay.
New
Shout
York
out.
and Florida, and made some friends over there. And man, they took me in and they said, "Hey, man, you don't need, like I said, you don't need a transplant or anything, but hey, why not improve, what you got?"
You got to get me connected with them. My biggest fear is losing my hair, man.
I think you're all right, but I understand. Like what they told me was, "Hey, why not get better and make these improvements?" And so they showed me some things we could do to improve my scalp health and my look. So it might be very subtle, like you guys didn't notice, but but I know, and I feel good about it. So I've been living my best middle-aged life to start 2025, man.
So the food in Taipei is, I heard, really good. Seems to be very healthy. Everyone says there's no like trash in it. There's no like chemicals. Little less chemical-based food over there.
Sure. Yeah. Now they do. The food is amazing. If there's anything I would say about the city, about the country, it's a big food destination throughout Asia. So when I was there, I saw a lot of tourists from the Philippines, Korea, throughout the that part of the world, throughout Asia. People go there to eat. There's not like a bunch of stuff for the kids to do, or there is some sightseeing, but you go there to eat. So that's like the sport and the thing to do is eat. So we ate well. And you're right. I noticed we didn't feel as, when you pig out here, sometimes you're down for like a day. Yeah. Over there, I think you recover a little quicker, and it could be because the food's
Well, I mean, I noticed that in Italy. When I went to Italy, I ate this big bowl of pasta. The next day, I didn't feel like my hands were all puffy. My face wasn't puffy. Felt good. It was just because the noodles are made differently. There's less starch, less chemicals in it.
Well, they're from my understanding, because I've seen a lot of videos on this, their pasta actually expires, right? It's fresh. Whereas you can buy pasta here and it could sit on that shelf for years. So I think there's a big difference there. So yeah, it's things like that when you go overseas and you experience a different way of life and learn some things. I think that's just one example of like why you should go, and if you can, and see what else is out there.
In terms of the colonoscopy, we had someone that we worked with. It was our executive producer for Bellator. He went when he was 44, went back when he was 46, and like, "Hey man, we got to treat this. You have the beginning stages of colon cancer." So they had to treat him for that. But yeah, that's something to keep track. I'm 46 and I'm thinking to myself, I need to go get checked.
We have to do it, guys out there, fellas. Look, it's not fun, but it could save your life. It is the most treatable form of cancer there is. So just because you get it doesn't mean it's over.
Yeah.
You just got to catch it early.
Like, 'cause my grandfather died of colon cancer. So it's something I got to take a look into. Definitely.
Yeah, not to start us off with a little, but it's important, man. It's
We are going to turn this around later.
Who brought negative Nancy over here?
No, we're just starting off with some real talk. Some real talk. You got to take care of yourself. I mean, to be the best dad you can be, we got to be around, man. We got to be healthy.
We got to have those real talks.
Yeah, we got to be healthy. We got to look good, feel good.
Yeah, look good, feel good, play good, right? Live good.
Yeah.
I had to get one. I got one a while back too.
Well, I mean, you're 60-something years old, so winning titles and all, but I'm still,
See, everybody had their moment, and as soon as I start, here it goes. Shot, let's kick them all these down. Not going to say anything.
Well, I was just going to,
well, I mean, we have to.
Just call me champ.
Yeah, we have to bring you down a little bit. But tell us, what is that thing next to you?
This is my
that?
championship.
Oh man.
No, we're not even talking about this right now. But I'm back wrestling. I feel good, man. I feel good from wrestling. Body's in good shape. We didn't get to take any big trips.
Why is that?
Because my son was wrestling, my daughter was playing basketball, and everything happened so fast, man. It was like break here. We're trying to get everything done. And we're still kind of getting acclimated to Dallas. So we were like, all right, we don't need to go anywhere big. We did go to Vegas, but we went there because I have a buddy of mine that was down there. And my kids, my son was like, I've never been to Vegas, and he wanted to see like a couple shows and stuff like that. So we just went out there and we got a hotel room, went to see a couple shows and just because we really didn't have any time off. Wrestling season's pretty much all the way through break, and there's like a little break here, but he was going from football right into wrestling, and we just had a good time. Just being.
Wasn't it nice though to just
stay there,
just chill?
And you know what? So I was talking about this book yesterday, and it was funny that my godson sent to me 5 People We Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom. So I like all of Mitch Albom's books, and he had this one book called
Mitch Albom?
Yeah, and he had this one book called Timekeeper. And I'll botch the book, but just what I got from the book, it was like, humans are the only ones that's really controlled by time. And I was actually talking to my daughter on the way to school, and it kind of got me a little bit choked up a little bit when I started thinking about it, because the book was talking about like, there was one part where this girl, I think she had like a date in like a week, and she was like, I can't wait until that time gets there. And then it was like one guy, he had like a terminal illness, so he wanted time to slow down. And then there was another person in there that just wanted time to stand still. So it was like, one person wants it to speed up, one person wants it to slow down, the other person wants it to stand still. And I just told my daughter, I said, ultimately we just want to take advantage of the time that we have. And I told her when I was driving her to school, I said, look, my oldest daughter's here from college. So she goes to college in San Diego. And I was like, man, I said, Naomi, I used to drive Kyra to school just like this. And that time is gone.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm driving you to school. She's in 8th grade. I was like, man, you're going to be in high school next year. And my daughter was just like you guys, like little bitty one, just running around. And now she's about to go into in high school. And my other one's in college. And I was like, man, I'm sitting there rooting. I'm like, man, 4 more years and I got an empty house. But then again, we talked about this earlier. And I was like, I told my kids, we were talking the other day, and my daughter's getting ready. She's a sophomore in college, so she has 2 more years. And I was like, Kaya, if you want to come back after you graduate, I said, I'll buy a big house. You can have your own space over there, because our kids are our life, man. We got to the point, if you're a real dad, your kids are a major part of your life. And my kids are like, I just look at my life, my whole life revolves around my kids. So there is going to be a big shift when they're gone. And I don't know if I'm ready for that. So today when we were driving to school, I was just like, I told Nay that, and she was just like, and then we just kind of both got quiet for a second. And she likes going to school because when I drive her to school, she gets dad time. Nobody else is there. We just chat about nothing, but we just joke around about stuff. And then I let her go and like, hey, Nay, have a good day. And then it was something so small like that. And I think that time just happens so quick that we don't take a time to just like stop and then just be happy for what we have and take really advantage of those small moments. So I think that was the biggest thing for me is like over this break, I was like, we can jump in a plane, we can go anywhere around in the world. And we will, because I do want to have those opportunities, just go and visit different places. But sometimes, like last night we played Uno all night. We stayed up because my oldest daughter was here. She leaves today. So I was like, let's just play Uno. We just play Uno. We ordered some Thai food and we just hung out. And it was like better than a vacation almost. So
Trump said there's no more Uno. It's just called one.
2025, man. It's a different world.
That's okay.
We live in a different world than we did.
Just as long as he,
Than we did a few
if he
months
cancels
ago.
federal income tax, I'm cool with whatever else he
it's all
does.
good.
No tax on tips.
But you know what? Here, there was a topic that we talked about before with my son that was a big deal, and I mean, there's no right or wrong answer that I said before, even though some people think they're right. Was the deal of my son wrestling? Okay, and mind you, it's completely. It could have went either way. So my son wrestled, of course, and it was like, Miles, we're not cutting any weight. No way. Just eat whatever you want. Go out there and wrestle and have a good time. And man, the kid at his weight class at his school is the best kid that they have. So he wrestled at 144. He was literally walking around at 146, and at 144, they give a 2-pound bonus. So the weight class is actually 146. So he was just eating, and last tournament he weighed in at 143. Mm-hmm. So he was way underweight. So he wrestled junior varsity. And on JV, he's like murdering kids. Like he's have light on his feet, hitting hard double legs, boom, have it. And we had a good time because after every match we sat down, I was filming everything and I was just kind of breaking it down for him and everything like that. And we had a good time during it. But
did it feel good just to relax and not have to worry about like, man, I got a huge match right now. Just let him eat, man. That's the biggest thing. Let him eat. He's out there cooking. He's out there cooking.
I mean, he had.
Did he have fun?
He had fun, but it was because we went to a place of saying that wrestling is just whatever. But diet, it's really not even a diet because okay, so here's the dilemma. Last tournament, Miles walks through it, pins everyone easily, and afterwards, his coach was there, and his coach was talking to me, and his coach was like, I was like, hey, coach, how's Miles doing? And when we started talking, we had a lot of similarities. Like his college coach wrestled with me at high school nationals, and he went to college for maybe a year, and then I don't know what he did. I think he may have left or whatever, but he's coaching down here. So we talked a little bit about different things, and he was like, he said, I really wish Miles could wrestle at 138. Because at 138, he had to wait. All he had to do is make 140. And he was like, yeah, the guys really kind of want him too because Miles is like really kicking butt in practice and everything like that. And I was like, I said, I'll talk to him and see. And really, that's only 3 pounds. He wouldn't really have to cut any weight at all. And they had that spot open for him at the weight class. And I was just like, I told Miles, I was like, what do you want to do? I didn't even tell him that the coach told me. He was like, Miles was like, no, actually, I take that back. Miles came to me and he goes, Dad, I really don't know what I should do. I said, what? He said, well, you think I should go down and wait? Because I could wrestle 138 and wrestle varsity. I said, whatever you want to do. I said, it's whatever you want to do. If you want to just keep weight on, hang out, wrestle, and then move on to the next season, you can do it. If you want to cut weight, I said, it won't be hard at all. I can help you no matter what. Now, in my time, it's completely different because there's 138 and then there's 132. Mm-hmm. So if he's walking around at 143, for him to wrestle 132 would have been nothing because all he had to make is 134. Mm-hmm. So, that's when it gets too much. But I just told him, I said, no, just do whatever you want to do. And ultimately he just said, I guess I'll just hang out. I'll make 144, wrestle junior varsity. He had his last tournament last week. And then he's like, the track coach already called him up and was like, hey man, we need you over here because he's fast. He's going to be running the 200. Mm-hmm. So he's like, he said, my season's over and then I'm going to move on to track. So that's how it ended. So it could have went either way. He could have, now the beauty of it is he's kind of following my career path a little bit. My freshman year, I wrestled varsity, got my butt kicked, but I had like a 500 season. My sophomore year, I went through a growth spurt, so I jumped all over the place, but I wrestled junior varsity like him and was killing people on JV. Same way with him. My junior year was when I said, okay, you know what, wrestling is my sport. So I stopped doing other things and I focused in on wrestling, and then I was in state finals. And so I took second, and then I took first. So Miles could follow that if he wanted to. So I said, this summer, I said, you know what? We're going to track. I said, the coach wants you to wrestle freestyle. If you want to wrestle freestyle, you can do it. But they go right into football afterwards. So I don't know if he's going to have the time. But with kids, you know, he can do both if he wants to. He can see if he wants it. And then we can make that decision next year. So that's kind of where I left it. I said, you know, this year is just a year for you to just have fun with it. Do whatever you want to do. If you like it a little bit more, then we can look at wrestling. But if you just want to focus on football, then we just focus on football. So
I think whatever keeps him in and go in the direction of his goals. Whatever his goal is, it seemed like the last time we talked, his goal was to start, you know, as a starter on the varsity team for football. And he wanted to get some size. He wanted to put the weight on. That to me is his priority. It seemed like that's where he was focused. Now that may change. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, but regardless, I think that's whatever your goal is, whatever his goal is, he's just got to commit to it and do it. It doesn't mean he can't do other sports. I think that he just needs to understand, like, this is my main goal. What can help me get there? The other stuff I do because I enjoy it. I enjoy wrestling. I enjoy track. Track will help me with football. They all kind of feed into each other, but my one goal is football. So as long as he understands that, you know, and he just pushes towards his goals.
It all worked out.
Yeah.
Right.
It
Well,
all
we
works
said
out.
there was no wrong answer. Josh might feel differently because his answer is always the right one. But either way you
He
go.
said it. He said it. Always the right one. He said
See,
it, not
but
me.
here's the thing. If he would have said, I want to wrestle, for me, we'd be placing in state.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. Like, I could sit
that's
here.
not the focus.
I know, but I could sit here and say the same thing with my son. I never played lacrosse, but I could say, like, hey, if it's soccer is going to be your sport, I could help you do that. If fighting is going to be your sport, I could help you do that.
Right.
Like, I played soccer at a very high level. I've obviously fought at a high level. I could do those things. Right. But I can tell that as we get more involved with lacrosse, he's like, this is my sport.
Like
now, he loves soccer. He does, but I'm not trying to like tell him, like, whatever you want to do, bud. Like, that's it. Like, at this age, I'm also at a different age. Does make a huge difference.
And you know,
It does.
It's so hard when you think
Wait,
about it because when
you're a different age?
No, Mike. Yeah.
kids,
the kids.
You and
Kids,
Josh.
Yeah.
I mean, you and Bobby.
Yeah, these.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm at a different age there too, by the way. Yeah, but no, the kids are at a different age. So, the goals and expectations for your son is that he understands there's a couple years left in high school to compete. My kid's just getting his feet wet.
Yeah.
Like, we're just still figuring it out.
It's another hard thing is, and this is a topic that we will always debate on, is here in the United States, we don't focus on one. We do a lot. Like, go back to Bo Bassett. I mean, if you keep up with him, of course, you manage him. Kids on fire, but that's all he does. Like, he is murdering kids, but that's all he does. And it's hard because in order to be great at something, you have to focus on that particular sport. You can't.
It's
You can.
working out for him.
Yeah,
It is. It's
it
definitely
is.
working
Yeah,
out.
it
for him.
is.
So so what do we do with our kids? Do we tell our kids, hey, look, you can't be a jack of all trades. You got to be a master at one.
Well, here's the thing, though. Look, I don't want to get too much into the sports thing right now, but I simply want to say, like, it worked out. It's working out right now for Bo Bassett. But we've seen before guys like Aaron Pico. As soon as the Olympic dream was taken away, kind of, he just was like, all right, I want to fight. It's done. It's over. Yeah. So dedication to that one sport, sure, is great. But if it doesn't get you to that next level, that Olympic level, or to sit up on that podium, they're done. They don't want it. There's nothing else.
But you saying they're done, but look what we're mentioning his name right now. He made a name for himself, and he put himself at a very high level. And he's still riding on the coattails.
I do understand that, but there is no other avenue after that in terms. I mean, there is for wrestling coaches, there is for, university, whatever it is, doing privates, instructionals, whatever it is. I mean, there's room there.
Sure.
But after you don't reach that level, Bobby, what do you do? Like, if that's just your sport, with Aaron Pico, he decided to venture off. He had some boxing skill, but even that was a rough start for him into the MMA world.
I don't look at it as what you do in the sport. I look at it as what you get from the sport. And all the people that I know that have made it to a very high level in wrestling became successful people outside of it just because of the mind frame. I believe if you become great in one thing, you have that you have that knowledge of how to become great, and you do it in other aspects of your life.
Well, I've said this for the longest time. Athletes are addicts. All
Yes.
they are is they're addicted to their sport. They're not addicted to drugs. They're not addicted to food. They're not addicted to bad things. They're just addicted to that sport. They're just an addict. They're just someone who is obsesses about one thing. Like if they want to be the best athletes, then we're just basically like another version of a drug addict, but just in a healthier way. You know, we beat ourselves into just, that's all I want to do. Let's not look at, I woke up every morning, I had to run. I woke up, I had to go to training. It wasn't that I had to go. I could have taken those days off. I was addicted to being inside that room, kickboxing, boxing,
I don't think you're addicted to sport.
grappling.
I think you're addicted to getting better. And I think that success takes you into other places in your life. Being an addict of Coke or crack is not the same as being an addict to a sport, because
They just have different outcomes.
No, because because like ultimately you're trying to make yourself better. You're looking at better. The things that you're doing, you're making yourself better. Waking up in the morning is ultimately going to help you out in the sport, but it's helping you out being more of a successful person. Waking up early, getting your things done, because you notice when you start doing something like that in sports, it translates into, I'm going to wake up early in the morning and make my bed. That doesn't make me a better wrestler.
How many times have we seen professional athletes that were the best that ended up being addicts after they left the sport? Lawrence Taylor, Michael Irvin, like these guys, they're all ended up being drug addicts at the end. They had to get help and get service. Like it's a very similar. Look, I'm not trying to be a negative person right now. I'm simply saying the addiction thing. We are addicted to a sport. That's what it is. And if you don't keep it channeled that way, you can end up going the wrong way. And that could go for anything. But I think athletes that have performed at the highest level have that tendency to, it's very dangerous, has a tendency to sometimes veer off in the wrong direction. Because we have addictive personalities. We could never be great at something if we didn't have addictive personalities.
But I think I wouldn't agree with that, because even just those, they're just a couple people. When you look at all the people, like when I was at the Olympic Training Center, those are just the people we've heard of. No, we were addicted. There's a lot of people that are very successful, and if you have an addicted personality when it comes to like alcohol and drugs or something like that, that's different from just being addicted to making yourself better. I mean, like some of the guys, like my team won nationals, and I have all of my friends that I was on that team with. I contact them to this day, and every one of them are like high level in their own business, not having nothing to do with sports. Like one guy is on top of Monsanto. One guy is like, one guy has like an insurance company that he's like on top of. The other guy owns like farms. Like all these guys are very successful in different businesses that have nothing to do with sport.
No, I understand. You're taking what I'm saying and taking it just in one direction of the drugs. I'm simply saying that it's an addictive personality, that those people that are addicted to chasing the hustle. So they've found a way. But if that was to go away, they would find another addiction to keep that fed.
It's a powerful thing.
Yeah.
When you have that focus and that determination, and you become obsessed with getting better at that. And I think whether it's business or sports, or negative things, right? I think it's so powerful that if it's focused towards something negative, it'll take you down that path. So you always try to keep it on the positive, right? Hey, whether it's sports or business or whatever it is, just positive things, and not, because I've seen it. I'm not going to name names, but I've seen more examples of what you mentioned. Is I'm obsessed with getting better at whatever it is I do, and the moment I have to pivot, or that opportunity or that door closes, all of a sudden that
I need a new
trait
drug.
you have, then this superpower you have is taken, down the negative side of things, and they go down that path, and it's a rough life. So I just think it's like a superpower that some people have, that ability to be so locked in and laser focused and successful. And I think you have to just constantly be looking for something to invest that into that's positive, and because once it goes the other way, it could
because Bobby,
throw you off.
I'll agree. I mean, I'll agree too. And it's like there are some people that veer off to some negative, but I guess I'm focusing more on the positives, and I know there's going to be there's the few that like Johnny Football, you know, he was so successful. He needed that high all the time. So he ruined his whole football career because he just wanted to party because he just needed that high. He was on top of the world. His testosterone level was going crazy. So he needed all that. So I can understand that. I just feel that, and I hope that, I guess I pray that most of the people that are very successful, I always look at them as finding something to continue on with their success. Because I'm the same way. Even at my age right now, it's like I'm 48 years old, still chasing titles, you know?
48?
And then, yeah.
48.
Hey, Bobby, you're young still. I don't know. Josh always makes you seem,
We lying about our age
really
these days?
old.
I thought this was a truthful podcast. What?
Yeah.
I thought we were telling the truth on this show.
Bobby, you're still young.
I just need to flex there for
I don't know.
a minute.
Josh is really throwing me off
Wikipedia
here.
has to say about that.
Yeah, Wikipedia.
48.
And see, and you know what I said afterwards is when I was looking at retiring, because there was a possibility that I was going to retire. I was looking at retiring after WWE. I was like, I'm going to spend maybe one more year and then I'm going to retire. And then I was like, man, what do I do after that? So I know what you're saying. And you saw, and towards the end of my career, I used to say, you know, some of you guys are hustling to be seen. I'm hustling to disappear. But then if that stopped, I'm like, cause like right now after this, I'm like, I got to go hit the gym and then I'm going to go do this. Like I'm constantly getting ready for something. I'm constantly preparing myself. So what happens when I don't have nothing to prepare for? Then I was like, man, I'm going to go to Jiu-Jitsu Worlds because I'm going to start, you know, throw a gi on and I'm going to start training that way because I want to chase that, or I have to do something. And I do a lot of business transactions, but it doesn't seem like that's so, I mean, they're small wins, but
you're
you're
a competitor.
I'm a
right?
competitor,
So you
yeah.
want to compete in that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think I always want to compete in some way.
Yeah, I think when we were talking about like having to change the direction, like when I moved here, like right now, I'm finding myself like going, man, what else can I do here? Because like during the day, I pretty much, when the kids are at school, I'm like, all right, what are we doing? I'm basically just talking to sponsors, trying to get sponsors for the podcast for this one and for my other one, and just kind of restructuring our deals, whatever it is. But outside of that, there's not a lot of things that I'm working on. It's like, I found myself in California. I always had something to do during the day. Like I would leave it, say I'd drop the kids off at school. As soon as I left, I didn't come back to the house until like 1 o'clock, 1:30, and then get a quick bite or chat real quick with the wife and then go pick up the kids from school. I always had something to do, you know, own the gyms, go visit the gyms, talk with them about what the structure is, come back home, and then go have a business meeting or a lunch meeting with somebody, come back. Like always had something going on. The day flew by. Here, I'm like, you don't know people. There's not like there's a jiu-jitsu gym or an MMA gym on every corner here like there is in California. He knows in San Jose, like there's like Kyle Terra's jiu-jitsu gym, there's Claudio Franca's, there's everywhere you went. There was AKA, I mean, there's tons of gyms that you could just swing by and just meet up and grapple with people, or go by and check up on talent and see who's, you know, getting better, who's not, like just socializing with all these people and figuring out what the new business venture is. There's just so many things you can dip your hands into. Here, just finding that. And I found myself going, man, like this first year and a half being here, I'm like, gosh, what else can I do? I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm like, I'm getting a little bored. And so I need to find things to do, because I can see, especially for someone like myself, I get myself in a lot of trouble. And so, and it's a good thing. I got to be honest. It's a good thing we don't live in downtown Dallas or Highland Park, because we looked in Highland Park originally to live. And I was like, good thing I don't live there, because you're so close to where everything is. Yeah. That could, I just know, like, you know what, I'm going to go out tonight and see it. Like, it could be that easy, but we live out here in the country, so it makes things a lot easier. And that's a scary situation, because we were just talking about not so much being an addict, but like being busy. I'm addicted to the hustle. I'm addicted to being busy. Leaving San Jose or leaving California was why I wanted to get out. I'm like, I want to get rid of that. I want to focus more on the kids, which is exactly what I'm doing. But now that they're at school all day, like, and they've been at school all day, but it's like, they're, you know, it's like they're more structured. They can kind of take care of themselves in the morning, like get themselves up, do their thing.
I think this is your opportunity to, step out of that comfort zone, reinvent yourself. I think we're all having to do that at this stage in life, man. We're middle-aged men. I mean, that's the reality of it. We're fathers. We're focused on that, but we still have all these other things that we can do and be, right?
But as an athlete, as a former athlete, like football players, I say this with
it's
football
over,
players.
Josh.
No, it is. It's over.
He's looking for his new thing.
It is.
Yeah, what's
something.
next?
But
You
the
know?
the
But you have a great
conversation-
media career. You know,
Yeah.
you've done a lot. I mean, you've set this up for us. You've got, weighing in. So, not to say you haven't the broadcast work. So you have reinvented yourself and created a whole new path. But I guess there's more to be done. Like you have so much more energy and time to give.
There's
right?
definitely more to be done because even though sure the media stuff is there, it's but that still revolves around that sport you were involved with. And now we've seen what's going on with the sport.
But you're using your mind now, not your body.
Yeah, that's true. But
it's still free time.
It is.
Free time. When you were fighting, there was even when there was free time, there was not free time.
It was rest time.
There was rest time, but even in rest time, you're resting because of the fight.
But I'm saying right now it's about reinventing yourself into something different than the sport. Like everything we know is about the sport.
Yeah.
Like I do a podcast, it's about the sport. Doing analyst work, it's about the sport. It's training
That's not
my
a bad thing, though.
It's not. I agree with you. It's not. But as we can see, you have the UFC, you've got PFL, Fellator, whatever you want to call it, But
that's gone
you've
too,
got
bro.
bare knuckle, like you've got boxing, but like it went from having all these top promotions now not having
That's
hardly
different,
any.
though. That's different.
But then that means less activity. That means less analyst works, less jobs, less like getting out there and getting busy. So there's a little bit less of that, but it's still surrounded around the sport.
But things will pick up again. I think it's perhaps what else can you do outside of this?
Yeah.
Then and I'll throw out. I mean, we've talked about different things that we can do and get into. Something that I want to focus on this year is being more of a savvy investor. I'm really wanting to focus a lot on educating myself more on the market, on crypto, and I just thought, man, I'm 45 in 20 years. I'd like to be able to retire.
Yep.
Let's start looking at this a little more seriously. Like, I have money in different things. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I ignore it completely, but I want to get better at it. So I'm trying to think of things that are very beneficial and important for us in the family that are outside of kind of the normal thing. So I feel you on that, but maybe we got to find those things. I know you've talked about real estate is something you're really into. I mean, that's completely outside of your day-to-day.
Yeah. I do a lot of real estate, but I went to this meeting a couple weeks ago, and it was my boxing coach down here. I started working with this boxing coach down there, and he found out that he was coaching, and I wanted to get into the coaching space also because I wanted to just work with different people because I think I've been through a lot, and I think I can help a lot of people out just with coaching, getting them on the right path and helping them find success. So this guy, he had this program, Perna. So he went down there and he has this program called Rare Breed, and he invited me to it. And I didn't know what to expect. And I went down there. And when I went down there was like 50 guys over there. And what they did is they came through and they got a workout. And it was like a couple circuits here. And then he had brought some of his boxing trainers. So there's some pad work and everything. And we were going through this pretty good little workout. I didn't know what we were going to be doing that day. Afterwards, we started talking to him. And all of these guys were very successful in different businesses. And he calls it Rare Breed because he wants to help these guys kind of like get their whole life together. So he does everything from like waking up in the morning, gratitude.
Kind of like a life coach?
Like a life coach, but it's a whole group. But all the guys there are very high level in their different fields. And then we broke into these smaller groups, and then we started talking. And when we were talking, I was like, okay, I kind of like this because it was an opportunity for guys to kind of like almost be vulnerable and talk about different things that they're going on in their life. Like these guys were talking about, like one guy, he was like, you know what, when I started my business, like I would come home and there was like anything that was going on with my business, I would bring home. And then my wife would have to like understand, like, where's this coming from? And there was like this mood change and everything like that. So he actually brought his family, and his family's a part of the business. So when he comes home and then they can have conversation about it, it's more easy and it's more synergy with the family. And then there was another guy, he was very successful optometrist. He said that all of his time was on his work. And he said he had to find that time where he was like, all right, at this time, I'm going to cut off the phone. Because before, all he thought about was work. And something happened with him where he got injured, where he almost lost his ability to work. And it dawned on him. He was like, man, I'm putting all my time in work and I don't even know my family. You know, I don't even know my family back then. So he was like, if work took off, he said, would they leave me? Because that's all I'm there for is I just pay bills. So he was really opening up, and it was all these guys that had an opportunity to just kind of tell their life and had a kind of support group where one, we can talk to each other about the business side. So there's different investments because some of these guys are very, very high level. And then, but on a flip side, we can talk about just like, you know, guys, the same thing that we're doing right now. We can talk about stuff going on with our kids or stuff that we're dealing with just personally, you know.
Like colonoscopies.
Colonoscopy, and that's something that
Don't tempt me with a good time. I'll do it again tomorrow. Let's go.
But these things are necessary because guys don't have that. It's always just women groups and women support groups and everything like that. But guys need to talk about it because like at this time, you know, some of the guys are former athletes that are finishing up, like you're talking about, and saying, "What do I do?" You know, during the day, my kids
Bobby,
are
that's
out
why we invite you
at
to hang
home.
out, bro. Josh and I, we always hit you up to hang out. You don't want to hang out.
But I'm still an athlete.
You don't want to hang out, right?
Well,
No, but
there's some things that we do need to talk about because investing is a big thing. Like I love investing, and I have a lot.
We're
of
going to
different
talk about
investment
that
opportunities.
next. We're going to talk about that next. Hey guys, we just wanted to catch you guys up on our holidays and what we did as a family and traveling, and you know, and obviously Bobby here to show off his belt. But we wanted to get you guys caught up. So hope you guys enjoyed this show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button down below, and another episode of the Dad Dojo.